So welcome in everybody, I'm Erin of erinbunpaints, if that wasn't completely obvious. Welcome into my tutorial. The idea behind today is I'm going to teach you step by step how to recreate the painting that you see on my screen here. It is a nameless painting as usual, so if you have a suggestion for a name, feel free to put it in the chat right now, because what I do is I upload this video to YouTube eventually, and I like to name the painting in the title, so feel free to put some suggestions in there. I will choose a little later and maybe you'll see your title in the YouTube title. Yeah, the idea is I'll be teaching it to you step by step and painting along with you actually. So right now you can only see me and the painting on the screen, but we're gonna switch and you're gonna see my actual painting on the screen with the painting that you want to look at if you want to see the design, and then there's just little old me in the bottom if you care to watch me, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, you'll see me recreate it step by step. I'll explain what I'm doing, I'll tell you how to mix colors, what brushes I'm using, but just keep in mind all of this is flexible to you, so if you want to change up anything, please go ahead. There's no rules here that says you have to change or have to stick to my painting, rather. Change it up however you want, make it custom, remove things, or just like use this as inspiration to like do some art tonight, you know? Do any and all art. That's what I'm here for. I want to encourage everyone to do art, so as long as you're doing something, that's good. Even if it's just having a good time in the chat, it's all good, it's all good. Other places to check me out, you can check me out on YouTube as I mentioned. I upload all of my tutorials there, so just for clarification, this doesn't go away forever. This will be on YouTube eventually. Facebook is a good hub to check me out at. It's where I post all of my events, so that if you like to plan ahead, you can kind of RSVP to events and see what I'm painting. I post my schedules there. Instagram is great because it lets you see all the tutorial paintings all in one little space. And Discord, if anyone wants to join a Discord, we have a lovely Discord community full of sharing art and just like organizing community events and games and things like that, so any and all of those places are good places to check out. I know it's a lot, but they're all there. In terms of the supplies tonight, they're always the same for every tutorial painting. There is a supplies command, so if you type !supplies in the chat, there will be an automatic message that pops up. It should pop up in a few moments. There we are with all of my supplies, but I'll go over them with you right now. I'm using four different paint colors. I'm so sorry. I have a maximum of 5 colors for this painting. I'm using only 4. We're not using black, so we're using white, red, yellow, and phthalo blue. Okay, so just like all the colors. And then we have brushes. We have 3 different brushes going on. We have a large flat brush, we have a medium round brush, and we have a small round brush. I just say as long as you have a few different sizes of brushes, you'll be fine. You don't need the exact shapes, the exact sizes that I have, just any variety is good. Otherwise, I have a cup of paint water. I have my iconic volcano plate. So any paint palette is what you want, but I have this crazy looking plate. It's just a plate full of paint that I've used for 5 years straight. Everything's nice and rock solid, and I continue to make it grow. That's my palette. I of course have my apron as always. Shout out Terry. Thank you very much for the apron as always. I was showing it off and you can't even see it, but it has my name on it. It's pretty cool. And those are the supplies. Alright, so I'm going to grab my first brush. It's a large flat brush. Any big brush that you have will do. I'm going to dip it in my paint water. And I'm going to start with plain white paint. So what I'm starting with is the background. See this nice kind of swirly glow of a background? That's what we're going to begin with. A nice white circle in the exact middle of the canvas. Not exact middle, you're not going to measure it, but you know, like as middle as possible, whatever. So wet brush, white paint, splatter all over yourself because you have too much paint on your brush. I don't know if you saw that, it just zipped right down. I'm just going right in the middle. Right in the middle with a nice big circle. Fill it in as well so you can see I'm going in the middle of the circle and swirling out. And if you're wondering a size, I don't really have an exact size for you. You can look at the reference there. And the size you see the white, I did it again. I'm just getting too messy. The size you see in the original, I would make it a little bit bigger than what you see in the original. That's my point here. Because as we blend the light blue, which will be the next color that we're using, I guarantee it'll shrink up the white paint. So make this a little bigger than you think, and that way you have room to blend and you won't be like covering up all of your white paint. So make it a little bigger than you think. It'll be a lot easier to blend without worrying about the size of the circle. Big white circle. Cool. Dorian, hello from Winnipeg, Canada. So excited. I'm excited for you. Dorian, if you have any questions about Twitch, this tutorial, let me know. I can help you. Moonshine, welcome back. I'm Bella. Okay, I will try to remember to call you Bella. Oh, the challenge is warm, Phoenix. That's a nice prompt for you. You've been really sticking to your prompts. I love it. Yeah, Poppy, thanks. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I tried it for the first time last week. I got an overwhelming, excited, supportive response to it, so I'm just trying to experiment more with it and hopefully make it a little cleaner soon, yeah. Oh, Sharon, you're closer than you think, though. I know it seems like a long time, but you'll get there. You'll get there. Live in LA? Cool. I'm in Canada, Moonshine. Or again, it was Bella. Yeah, Bella. Get Erin a finger pointer stick. She can point to the painting. Some sort of a laser pointer type gig. Mm-hmm. That would be even fancier. We're getting too fancy now. Too fancy. Okay, so we have wet white paint, and I do want to move on a little fast because we're going to blend the next color in there. We want the white paint to still be wet so we can blend the wet light blue into the white so we get a nice soft transition. So I'm going to use the same brush. It's the large flat brush. If you're still adding white, just keep going at that for the next minute or so, but I'm going to move right along here. And on my plate, I'm going to mix phthalo blue with some white. So I'm just making like a light to medium blue. I just need to find, oh, the blue's up here because I cheers with it, of course. So on my plate, I'm mixing white and phthalo blue, or just any blue you have. I always make sure to say phthalo though, because phthalo is my favorite. It's the blue I pretty much always use. It's because it's nice and bright and beautiful, so that's why I always say phthalo. And Bob Ross loves phthalo blue, so I mean. Okay. So something like that. You can see it's just like a lighter tone blue. It's not super dark, it's not super light, just somewhere in between. What I like to do is I like to first apply that around the white. So I'm just circling around very messily. You can see I'm not worrying too much about clean lines or anything. And I'm going to go around the white, and I'm going to extend it a little bit further because I want to start covering more of the canvas. You can see we have some dark blue later, but that kind of sticks to the corners. So I'm not too, yeah, I want to make sure that I'm covering up more here. As an extra note, you're not going to need to worry about much down here. So even if you want to like save some paint and stop painting about here, even further up if you want, you can see we're going to be covering all that with some snow, with some trees. So no need to waste paint if maybe you have a limited amount. In the meantime, I'm still going round and round and round. And I'll teach you the next step in the next minute or so. Again, we want to go a little quick just for the blending. Once I teach the blending, we can slow right back down again. We can take some more time. I have a Mickey Mouse hand on a stick. I like that, like a little mini glove. Training people to use it a pointer, and I'd say click it. Oh my God, that's so cute. I want that. That's exactly what I want. That's so adorable. A little glove pointing. By the way, you can always dip your brush in a little bit of water just to help spread the paint. I don't do that a whole lot because sometimes it does thin out the paint, but just here and there you can kind of give it a little quick dip. Subscribe to your channel and it goes in. Oh, thank you, Moonshine. It's actually, yeah, the channel is live right now, but yeah, if you're talking about this tutorial, you can probably look in the next week or so. Bella, yes. Possible or chat command to control what happens to the screen. It's probably a long shot of somewhere to use the zoom command. I think that's actually possible, Poppy. I'll talk to you about that in a second, because that's a good idea. I have thoughts about it, though. We can talk about it. Next step for blending, everybody. Again, we're going to do this, then we're going to slow right down. We can all chill as we blend. The next step is going to be blending the light blue into the white paint. Okay, so I'm using this brush, this large flat brush. It can be, it can have a little bit of blue on it or a little bit of white or be clean. It doesn't really matter. Point is I didn't add any extra paint to it. And all I'm going to do is I'm now going to wipe in between. Wipe, swipe, brush, any of those words. In between the white and the light blue. And what starts to happen is your brush picks up a little bit of the blue, it mixes it with a little bit of the white, and it starts to blend them. See how it gets a little bit softer. So just kind of going in circles around that little border of the blue-white to help move them together and blend them together. So something that might happen, and it's actually something that's happening to me, is it might not be blending a lot. You see how it looks kind of dry there? It's not perfectly smooth. Those little ridges, if anyone sees those little ridges, that just means things aren't blending properly because one of the colors isn't wet. In my case, it's probably the white that isn't wet because that was applied first. So what I can do is grab a little extra white, wipe it on top, and that'll help blend it together. So it's not your fault, it just means the paint dried a little bit quick, and that's why it's not blending nice and smooth. So you can just keep grabbing little amounts of paint, wiping them like this, and you can see it starts to smooth it all out. And you can see as well how, as I predicted, things are kind of shrinking up into the white. That's why we made it a little bit bigger than we thought, so that we have room to do that. We can kind of close up that white circle if we need to. All right, so just to refresh there, you can always grab a little extra white paint on your brush if maybe things aren't blending, if things are a little sticky, or if anything's dry. You can grab white or the blue, whatever color is too dry to blend. Okay, Poppy, I love that idea. And I think it is possible. It involves a lot of work and background stuff, but it is possible for chat to control things like, I think, for chat to control things like camera angles. My only fear, not to say any of you would do this, but someone might pop in and say, oh, I can control her cameras, let's create chaos. And they would come in and maybe like, you know, inappropriately use those commands. Of course we can handle that. We have lovely moderators in the chat who would probably just kick them out very quickly. But I wonder if that would be a consistent thing that like maybe people would think that's a hilarious thing to troll about and to joke about when we're trying to do a tutorial and that's not, you know, it's not the time to do that. That would be interesting though, Poppy. And the other thing is that, you know, if one person wants it zoomed, everyone else might not. And that's my other fear, is that people would start to argue and be like, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. So I wonder how that would work. It's something I could think about for sure. I've always wanted to do chat controlled other things, not necessarily camera angles. But good idea just in general. But those are my thoughts. Yeah, I always think about how trolls might handle and how pranksters might handle these things. So that was just my quick thoughts on that. Bob Ross loves Phthalo Blue, and I do too. Yeah, that's pretty much why I love it, Krithy. It's something he always mentions, and it truly is a beautiful color. So again, you can see things are not blending super well. That just means the white is very, very dry and sticky here. I'm just grabbing white paint, going on top, blending it out. It fixes it up. So just be patient. If you need to re-add some paint here and there, just go slow. Add little bits of paint. You don't want to cake on the paint and add like huge new layers. Just grab little bits and use that to wipe around and blend around with your brush. And you can choose if you wanted a little streakier, like some people like these more prominent streaks in here, some people like it a little smoother, so just keep working as much or as little as you want on it. I think that's looking pretty good though. There's a nice transition in between the two. These points add up. Oh, for sure, Cindy. My brother said this is a very good idea to do classes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bella. Yeah. I know people use my tutorials in classrooms too, which is pretty mind-blowing. Some people do like art classes and stuff with them. So yeah, use away if you'd like. Maybe time. Yeah, no, Poppy, that's a good idea too. That's kind of a new thing I'm learning about, is like time limits and stuff too. Tie it to channel points. Cam, that's a good idea. I would have to explain what channel points are to the vast majority of people here, but that is a very good idea to keep it more limited. Thank you. Didn't consider. I just always think of the trolls, Poppy. Honestly, I'm like, how are they going to take advantage of this? Oh man. LM Carter, will this be available later? Yes, on YouTube. Thank you, Gray. So Gray just linked you the YouTube channel. That'll be available there in the next week or so. Listen. Yeah. Ooh, what happened? James's message? He's not a troll. What happened? It says click to show. Does that mean it'll show it to all of you? I trust your and Hambina. What happened? Okay. All right. I trust your. I'm just curious. I trust your job. I'm just curious. Nothing. Okie dokie. I wish. I'll check the records later. I don't even know how to check the records later. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know how to check the back end. Alright, I'm just giving everyone a quick minute in case you're still blending. I know sometimes the first blend can take a little bit just to learn about. Maybe you're still adding some color. We will blend in some dark phthalo blue into the light blue next. I will take this moment to adjust my camera so it's right up there. There we go. Well, Anna thought it was funny, so I'm sure it was something. I trust those two, though. They would never troll in the chat. Absolutely not. Okay, let's go on to the next step here. If you're still blending a little bit, just keep going. I'll go nice and slow for the next step too. It's only just these top corners we need to figure out. So next step, you can see in the painting here, we have just plain phthalo blue. So it looks pretty dark, but all it is just the plain blue this time. We're not going to mix it with anything. We're just going to apply it just like we did the other blue, and then we're going to blend it. So again, you might run into an issue where this color is now dry. That's okay. I'll teach you again how to blend if that's the case. So I'm going to take my large flat brush. I've washed it off. I'm going to go over here, grab some phthalo blue. And I'm going to start applying it in the top corners, pretty much anywhere where there's gaps. I'm not worried about the bottom, again, because we're going to be covering up the bottom anyway. But mostly the top area. If you happen to have some sides available, that's not wrong. That just means you'll have a little more darkness in your painting. That's totally fine. Just make sure you're covering up any of those gaps right now. You're so talented, my brother said. Thank you, Bella. Thank you so much. Does your brother do art? Do you do art? Any and all? Obviously, I'm painting, but appreciate all forms of art. So curving around. I like to kind of follow the curve of the circle here, so I'm just doing nice big archways. Because you still kind of see your brush strokes, right? So you don't want to be doing all these small strokes unless you want all that texture. I'm usually a fan of texture, just not for this technique here. We want to smooth it all out. Thank you, Poppy. I appreciate it. Yeah, that way your brother or you, Bella, you can do some tutorials that you've missed. There's lots uploaded there. By the way, if anyone's still looking for the polar bears, it's almost there. I had to restart uploading it because it got to 90% and then YouTube froze up on my other computer, so it is coming. It's almost there. I thought it'd be up 2 days ago and it wasn't. I had to restart a couple times, so oopsie daisy, it's there soon. As well as the galactic one, I didn't realize that wasn't up yet, so that'll be up right after that. Continuing to try and catch up with those. There was a time where I wasn't uploading those as consistently, still catching up. Okay, so when you have that phthalo blue on, I've now washed off my brush. And again, you can either use the brush clean and wipe in between those two colors if they're still both wet. Mine are definitely not both wet. This one is very, very dry. So what I need to do is pick up more of that light phthalo blue and use that to blend out the edge. So again, if yours is dry, just grab more of that original color. That way you're kind of reapplying it with your brush. And you can see here that just kind of smooths it all out. So same thing going in that archway, just hitting the edge of the phthalo blue so it kind of blends down, fades away. See, it just softens it up compared to that edge, which I haven't touched quite as much there. And again, I'm trying to match kind of the circles, so see how it kind of flattens out here? I'm actually going to want to bring some more blue down so it kind of curves down, matches the curve of that circle. So if you think yours looks a little off, maybe that's why. You want to try and keep an even width all the way around, so kind of curve it down further if you need to, curve it down further here. And then I'll keep blending. Barb! Hi, Erin and everyone. Hi, Barb. How's it going tonight? What are you up to? I got a little bit of purple on my brush by accident. Oopsie daisy. Just continuing to blend. Oh, thank you, Bella. I appreciate it. You got a lot of friends here. That's really cool. Do you think you'll follow along with one ever? You could learn and paint your own, right? There we go. That's a little more even. All the hellos, all the hellos. What are you up to tonight, Barb? Just giving a quick minute in case anyone's still blending. You can keep smoothing things out. Oh, that's a hair. No, no, no. We don't want that. Can anyone relate? People hairs, pet hairs, everywhere in the painting. It just happens. Mixed medium, am I right? Just a piece of your pet or a piece of you in your painting. Ugh, anyway. Pleb, welcome in! Sub to tier 1, resubscribe for 4. Pleb, it's so nice to see you here. I know we chatted about a week ago or a couple days ago in another chat, but I'm so happy to see you! How's it going, little Christmas poo? Watch me, Mr. Barb. Oh, oh, that's so nice! Which movie, though? Hello, yes! Again, I'm so glad to hear that things have been going on. I know you've been absent, Pleb, but it's no worries. It's like, you're just thriving and that's what counts. Diving into work. Beautiful. You do you. Pet de Pleb. Alright, so I'm going to assume we pretty much have our backgrounds down, everybody. If you're still working a little bit, just keep taking your time. That's something to note as well. If you ever need to like go back to the start of this video, you won't be able to watch me live, obviously, but you can go back all the way to the start right now if you need to. So that's not a hair, by the way. It's just the leftover paint from the hair. I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the background trees. So of course we have our front and center tree right here, but we're going to do these ones in the background here. So there's kind of two steps to them. We want to do a nice dark green. That's what that is in the background there, this nice dark green. And then we're going to add some snow on top of them to make them look kind of like freshly snowed on. So we're going to do those. And then we'll look at the foreground a little bit later. So we're going to switch brushes now. We're going to switch to the medium round brush, or just any kind of medium. You can do a medium round or a medium flat. I have used medium flat with this technique before and it's been fine, but I personally just like the round one. Dip in your water. Finish yesterday art. Sounds good, Phoenix. Congrats. We're going to mix a nice dark green. Dark green. I'm just looking for my yellow. There we are. Yellow and blue is what we mix to make green. And of course, I'm personally sticking to a darker green because I want to save more of a nice light, bright green for later, for a nice foreground tree. So a dark green this time. So dark green is going to be made by mixing lots of blue with just a little bit of yellow in there. It'll stay nice and dark that way. Sounds good, Barb. Enjoy. Sounds good, Christy. No worries. Enjoy as well. Thanks for the alert, Canine. Oh yes, Krithy, we will. Yeah, I like to do that second so it kind of piles on top. See how it piles on top of the bottom of the trees? I like it layered on top, so we will do that. Yes, indeedy. Indeedy. I always have a plan. I appreciate you pointing it out, but I always have a plan. Sometimes I don't, though. Sometimes, sorry, sometimes I have a plan and I'm screwing up, so I do appreciate you checking in. There have been a couple times where people have said, what about this, Erin? I go, oh, right. Oops. Because I get too excited about other steps. Anyway, nice dark green on my large, or sorry, medium round brush, excuse me. Okay, so these trees are pretty reminiscent of Bob Ross. I think these are just the absolute classic Bob Ross trees. He usually uses a fan brush. I'm using a medium round brush, as I keep saying, but I kind of use it in the way that he does use it. So I'll tell you how to do that right now. Let's start just by doing a big tree trunk. You can start wherever you want. The only place I wouldn't start is the exact middle because we are of course going to be adding the foreground tree in the exact middle. So anywhere surrounding. Let's go like close to the left here. Maybe let's go about here. Okay, you don't need to worry about making it stick thin. You don't need to worry about making it consistent. It can even wobble here and there. That's fine. It'll all be covered up. So don't you worry. Just stick that on there for now. And then I'm going to grab more paint and I'm going to start tapping my brush. I'm going to show you nice and close actually how to do this because I can. This setup allows for some zoom action, so we're going to do it. You can see nice and close what I'm doing. Move it a bit. There we go. So one thing I'm doing with my brush to prep it is I'm actually wiping it on the edge of my plate, and that way it looks a little more flat versus the side here is a little more yeah, well, it's flat on either side, but it's wide on this side, flat on the other. So I'm trying to like flatten it out into more of a fan brush actually, just like Bob. I'm using the wide edge. I'm using the tip of the wide edge. I'm going to go up to the very, very top, and I'm going to start just by very lightly tapping. So I'm just adding like a little bit of texture just by tapping at the very, very top. So I kind of twisted my brush a little bit to get the very, very tip on there. Tapped a little bit harder just to get it a little bit wider, but so far I'm just kind of like tapping it right on there. As I get further down, I'm going to tap maybe a little bit harder. So just using a little more pressure. And I'm going to start tapping and moving a little bit left and right. So you can see I'm kind of tapping left, 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 tapping right, 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 going back and forth, back and forth. Very slowly, very subtly. You can see how thin it is still. It's very close to the trunk. I want to make sure I'm just taking my time with this. Tap, 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 tap. You can see as I get further down, I'm just tapping further and further out, maybe using a little more pressure as well to get these strokes a little bit larger. I like to also start to maybe tilt these a little down. See how these are tilting down a little bit, the branches rather. They're not really tilting straight out. They're not coming left and right. They're more coming down to the left, down to the right. I like to do that as I get further down because I imagine the branches are a little bit heavier. They're kind of sagging closer to the ground. So that's why I start to angle them just a touch more. I will be going back up the middle, so if you feel like the middle's looking a little messy or just like wrong in any way, I will be going back to that. For now, I'm really just kind of concentrating on the outside edge. I want to make sure I'm getting the shape of the tree and just kind of the gaps in the branches, so you can kind of see a little bit of in-out here and there. And I'm going all the way down. And you can see my brush is even just like going all over the place. It's kind of getting a little messier. I'm not too worried about using the tip. I'm just kind of splotching a little bit more here. Maybe going a little bit lighter as I get to the edge, but in the middle I'm just really, really tapping it on aggressively. Okay. So again, the middle looks a little bit funny right now. That's because it is. It hasn't really been fixed up. We've been concentrating on the edges here. So as a final step to the tree, what I do is I kind of focus in on the middle and I just pretty much try and cover up the middle a bit more, kind of like beef it up. So I'm just like continuing to tap, going left and right again, but not going out to the very edges. What I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to cover up the trunk area, maybe a little bit further out. So it makes it look like these branches are nice and healthy, nice and thick all the way out. And then that way I'm just kind of left with the ends of the branches where they start to separate. It's just filling in small little gaps here and there. Trying to make that middle consistent all the way up. Even the top you can kind of leave alone, but that middle part and the bottom is more what I was concerned about. Luke, welcome in. Nice to see you. How's your night going? And that's a tree for you. That's one of many trees. We can now take our time. I'll continue to kind of go through what I'm doing if you want me to repeat anything, but all the rest of these trees are the same technique. We're just going to be doing more of them. I'm going to zoom you out just so you can see kind of perspective-wise what's going on. But these are just going to fill up the background. You can see the trees in the original. All of them are kind of like pretty tall, just not the tallest. You know, they're not going all the way up to the top. So I would recommend leaving the tallest for our foreground tree in the middle. So maybe just a little bit taller here and there, but not much. I think I'll do another one here. I'm going to try and replicate what I have on my original as I always do. If you fit more trees, if you fit less trees, that's all okay. So don't worry about getting the exact number. I know you obviously want to make it nice and filled and similar to mine, but just know you don't have to squish in anything if you don't want to. Don't even have the extension, but I hear the sound of it. Yeah, I feel like anyone familiar with it, Luke, is just like in their head. They're just, oh, Cat, why you do this to me? Alright, so I'm going to repeat what I did. I won't be zoomed up, but you can just see a different perspective here. Flattening my brush, doing very small little taps at the start, at the very top. Kind of using either the tip of the brush, the very side of the brush to keep them nice and thin and tight to the trunk. As I get further down, I'm tapping a little harder. As I get even further, I'm going to tap a little left and right. And that's a big key, everybody. I think I said this last tutorial too, because we were doing similar trees, but I'll say it again. I know when I started learning trees, I was just so excited about the idea of adding branches that I went really hard at the start every time. I was like, yeah, and I would go back and forth, and it made my tree very top heavy. So it's a big thing. I have to like restrain myself every time and say, no, just very small taps to begin with, just teeny bits. Don't get too excited, because then it makes it look, again, very top heavy, not as, you know, slender at the top, not as pointy. And if anything, now I overcorrect and you can see how thin my tree is. But it means that it's very easy to lengthen. I can just kind of tap a few more times, and I just made them nice and wide. It's harder to go backwards. It's harder to chop those up, right? I don't paint with live tutorials generally because I feel rushed if I can't pause, but it's just occurred to me to try this black and gray and try the tiniest bit of gold in there. Ooh, that would be pretty. Do the same. Yep. Poppy, I'm still learning. It still happens occasionally, like during tutorials where I make that mistake, but at least I can show you how to correct it. So if anything, I might try and make the mistake next. I'll go oopsie daisy and then I'll show you how to correct it. But it has happened completely by accident before. Tapping harder as I go down. You might get some overlap, of course, especially near the bottom. Don't worry, that means it's good. That means it's getting nice and full in the forest, so don't worry about that. I'll read that, oops, in a second, Cindy. I'm gonna get this last, not this last tree, but this tree on. Love to read what you say in there. I saw project in there, like you're working on a project. I want to know. Okay, so I've tapped all the way to bottom. Now I'm just tapping in the middle to fill up the middle. And you can see how messy I'm using my brush. I'm not worried about getting light little taps with little texture. It's just like blobbing it on the middle, filling up gaps. And if you're nervous about how much to fill it up, just try a little bit. You can kind of lean back to see how it's looking as a whole, and then decide if you need more, if you need to fill up any more spaces. You can even break up some branches if you don't like how uniform they are, if they're kind of like back, forth, kind of zigzaggy. Tap in just a couple more light little taps in between, and that'll help kind of break them up a bit more. All right, working on a different painting and listening. Oh, okay. Squirt out a parchment white and then pretty dry. Tried rehydrating with some regular white. And as smarty pants I am, I took the extra and filled the corner of the plastic on canvas, wrapped it, and tried to make a bag to snip. Oh my gosh! Smarty pants! Squirt the leftover back in the bottle. Not in my hands, on my face plastic touch. You tried. It kind of sounds like a smarty pants idea, Cindy. Like, I applaud your effort. It sounds pretty smart. I didn't foresee it happening. I'm sorry it's not all over your face or your hands, definitely not. But you know, things happen. Togistan, welcome in. Hello, Bun. How's it going? Yeah, let me make a mistake for real, and I'll show you how to fix it. So I was just saying to Poppy there about the, well, I was saying to all of you about the tree thing that I do. I get too excited. I'll show you what that looks like right here. I'm gonna do a tree here. Yeah, that's fine. A little lower. Oh, Cindy, I thought you were just being sarcastic. Now all over. I see. I thought that was just straight up sarcasm. Like, nope, it is not all over me. Absolutely not. I did not make a mess, blah, blah, blah. Either way works. But yes, it's all over you. Oh dear. You tried. All right, here's what can happen. Maybe you had this happen already and you're kind of wondering how to fix it. You go to do your tree and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to do this tree. Tap, tap, tap a lot at the start. And then it starts to look kind of chonky, like it's a little top heavy. It doesn't look like a nice point at the top. And you're kind of continuing along and you're like, huh, why does it look, yeah, it looks kind of unproportioned. I could even add more to really make it dramatic. Something like that, and you're just like, what's going on? It doesn't look like it's getting wider. That's the other thing. This is all very straight here. I'm going to continue down. I'm going to show you how to correct it. Because we're going to pretend that you go all the way down the tree and you're like, oh, it's looking good. Then you lean back, you're like, oh no, what the heck happened? Lori, I see you there. Welcome in. I'm just going to read your message in a second. Everyone else like to watch. No worries. I hope the situation was okay and it wasn't too serious. Phoenix just told us about Ottawa going into the... Oh wait, orange zone, right? Yeah. York is gray. Maybe related to that? Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Hopefully you're relaxed. Anna, you're a true artist now. Me being sarcastic? Ha ha ha. Yeah, only true artists get paint on their hands and everywhere else. It's fine. Okay, so if anyone has a tree like this and they're like, what's wrong with it? I'm gonna tell you what you can do to spice it up a bit. So right now you want to look at the edges. See how my edges are very straight up and down versus these ones are angled. Angle, angle, angle. So that's step one, is I would start to widen out these bottom parts a bit more. You just want to be a little more aggressive with widening on the bottom. So I'm just kind of taking my brush, same as usual, flattening it out, tapping a little extra. Bring that a little further out. Excuse my battery, 1 second. It's exhausted. It's been working hard, so we need to switch it out. I'm exhausted. 3, 2, 1. 1. There we go. There it is. Welcome back, battery. Alright, so yes, I'm widening out the bottom, still tapping away, same as usual. And then to fix the top, because it's kind of top heavy, what I do is I just extend it a little higher. So you will need to raise it up a little bit, so I'm just going to use my brush and go do-do-do-do-do-do-do, raise it up a little bit. And then I'll take a big breath and say, I'm not going to press too hard, I'm not going to get too excited this time, I'm just going to tap a tiny bit. I'm going to just do little taps now. Teeny tiny, teeny tiny. Just let it sit up there. And eventually I'm trying to match up to what I had. So I'm trying to bring out those taps a little bit as it comes down. I could still fix up maybe around here, kind of bring these out a little bit. But yeah, that's mainly how I fix it, is raising it up at the top. You can even raise it higher if you need to. But you can see how it starts to look even more slender now. Well, not slender, but just properly angled. We have the nice tip at the top. And it starts to gradually get wider at the bottom. I still feel like I could widen a little bit, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to fill in the middle. Your messed up tree still looks better than my honest attempted trees. I'm trying. Are you honestly still having trouble, Poppy? I'm happy to help you if you want to describe what's going on. I know I can't see. I always offer, though, for people to send me photos, like via Facebook, through the business page if you want. Discord is a good spot if you if you want a little bit of help. And trees are tough. That's very important to remember. Like I said, when I was first practicing trees, like I've been practicing trees for years and years, and no lie, I've probably painted thousands. Probably thousands of this kind in particular. So, and even still, I feel like I'm continuing to improve and I want to keep improving. So that's important to remember. You're never gonna like get it fully. You'll get better and better and better. Eventually, maybe you'll be like pleased with what you do, but yeah, it'll never be perfect, and that's okay. And all trees are different too, right? All right, that's another one. You can see it's still a little bit funny in here. I could do a little more work with like extending these guys out. Anyway, hopefully you get the gist of the idea there. How to save the tree. Ruined, saved. I'll send you the latest attempt in Discord. Sounds good. I've just hung it up above the kitchen cabinet so I can't look at it closely. Okay, okay. Sometimes that's honestly a good suggestion too, Poppy and anyone else. Sometimes when you're painting, you're looking right at the painting. You're like way up close. You're like, hi. Why does it look funny? Because you're an inch or two from the painting. Try looking at it from a few steps back, even just a few. It's not often that you're gonna look at art like right up close to it. So just keep that in mind. I know you're up close to it because you're painting, but it might look completely different if you take just 1 or 2 steps back. Try taking a photo of it on your phone because that'll give you a nice like smaller version as well. Like a more accurate version in my opinion. So just try those if you're feeling a little bit like shaky about it. Because I know it can be a little discouraging and you're like, oh, I don't want to keep going, but I really encourage you to keep going. Keep trying more. It's the only way you get better is if you keep painting, you keep trying. Even if you're not liking how the painting's coming out, just do it for the practice, right? And do it for the fun. We can all still have fun on a Friday painting together. Tap, 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 tap. Same technique, guys. I'm not going over the technique again. I'm not really like fully describing, but if there are any questions, just let me know. It was great fun to paint. I'm just a bit of a perfectionist. Can relate. I can so relate, so don't you worry at all. Yep, that's why I kept practicing, Poppy, because I was like, I'm gonna get this right. I'm gonna practice till I like it. So I can totally relate. And there are often times where I spend way too long on paintings that I'm just kind of like fiddling with. Even though they probably don't need to be fiddled with. It's me being like, no, this could be a little bit straighter and a little bit better. And I can so relate to that. Well, says she's 4. Thanks, you're beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hopefully she's inspired to paint more than that, though. Bella, I'm excited for the idea that you could paint along. You and all your friends and siblings. Yeah, and some trees might be a little more slender, some might be a little wider. That's the whole point. They're all different. Okay, I've got 4. In my original, I have a 5th one over here, so I will fit it in just for the sake of me trying to stick to the original. If you feel like yours is good enough as is, just stay with 4. Or maybe you have 3, or maybe you have 20. I don't know. Just do whatever you feel. I just don't really like it being perfectly symmetrical. I'm pretty sure that's why I added this one here. It was 2, 2, and then 1, so I added this little one on the side just to keep it unbalanced, you know? Just keep it unbalanced. Yes, no, I'm gonna stop fiddling with the details that struggle at times. Oopsie, I grabbed some yellow. Yes, it is. That's why, Poppy, at the end, I always really encourage people to sign their paintings at the end, because that's been my secret to telling people how to stop, right? It's like once you sign it, you can't touch it, you know? You've solidified that it's done by signing it, so that's why I always really try my best to remember to tell people to sign it. It really helps with that aspect. But again, can relate. I have many paintings that are done but 90% because I'm still fiddling with things. Yep. Thank you. S. Colin, is that right? Welcome in. Thank you very much. Just so you know, this is a painting tutorial, so I'm teaching people how to paint this step by step. Feel free to stick around even if you're not painting along. There's still lots of people here chatting and having fun, so maybe you'll learn something, maybe you'll just have a good Friday night, who knows? Thanks for popping in. Hi Lolo, I'll need to do this later. Okay, yeah, no worries. Just so you know, this is always uploaded to YouTube after. It might take a few days or a week or so. But yeah, that's my YouTube channel. I have all of my past tutorials there right now. Some are missing, but they're being uploaded. Anything I do live on here tutorial-wise eventually goes to YouTube, so feel free to check that out. And this will be there eventually as well. Cool, I've got 5 trees on. I'm gonna take a couple minutes just to allow you guys to catch up if you're still adding some trees. I'll keep watching the chat even though it has slowed down as I predicted because we're all painting. Yeah, ask any questions you want. Wendy, Steph, thank you very much for the follow and welcome in. And again, now is a good time to ask questions about the painting, what I do, questions about Twitch, all of it. I'm pretty free right now. I actually want this to dry a little bit so we can get some nice clean snow on here. So that's the other thing. I'm waiting for a little bit of a drying time right now. Hi Lolo, I need to connect with my Amazon Prime like you mentioned. Oh great, so this is something to show you right now if you like. Thank you, Gray. So quick. So if you read that little blurb that just popped up in the chat there under Gray's Prime, you can read a little bit about that. So basically what you'll do is you'll go to gaming.amazon.com. On that screen, you'll be asked to log in. There should be a little login button in the top right area. Click that. You can log into your Amazon Prime account. And then once that's done, it should bring you back to the same page, and it should ask you if you'd like to link your Prime account, so the HiLolo account, to your Amazon Prime account. You will say yes. You will also need to click a button on that page that says Try Prime Gaming for free. You will click that and say yes. It's just a step or two to do that. Once all that is done, you never have to do that again. It is just a couple steps to like get it all connected and set up. But once it's all done, you can come back to this page. You can click the subscribe button, and there will be a new button. If you scroll down, it says subscribe free, and that's the subscribe free button. So it doesn't cost you any extra money, but it supports me once a month if you continue to come back and click the free subscribe button. So it's a big, big help for me. And yeah, it takes a little bit of time to connect and all that, just to figure out if it's confusing. But otherwise, it's a huge, huge help for me, and it literally like gives me money straight from Amazon. So we are quite literally taking from Jeff Bezos and sticking it in my pocket. So it's pretty fun. Feel free to try that now or later, no rush, and let me know if you have any issues, because I know sometimes it has some roadblocks here and there. Colin, thank you for following. I saw that in the alerts there. And yeah, just so you know, there's no alerts because we're doing the tutorial right now. I am pretty far down, aren't I? I'm gonna adjust that right now. So another minute or so on those trees, and then I'll move on to the next step here. That's a little better. That's a little better. Still playing with it. Still playing with it all. Shall do. Thank you very no, thank you. Thank you very much. You're very welcome. And again, I hope you enjoy this tutorial later. I'm saying hi to you on YouTube now. Isn't that weird? Yeah, you'll see. You'll see when you watch on YouTube. Hi, Lolo. I love doing that, playing with time. It's fun. Christy, good night, Erin. I'll see you again. Sounds good, Christy. Have a great evening. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be online tomorrow, just doing some painting on Twitch. All right, I'll give, I think I said already, 1 more minute on the trees. If you need longer, please take your time on them. I want you to feel comfortable with your trees and good with the trees, but we're gonna do snow next, actually. Pleb has Pizzer? What? What is that, Pleb? What is that? Oh my god. Where are you gonna draw the big one? So after the snow. So I'm gonna do the snow first, so that way we get a nice layer on top. And then we'll do the big one right after that. Yeah, no worries. Oh, pizza. Oh, okay. I could not. It makes sense now. I was like, pizza. Pizza. Congrats, pleb. What kind of pizza, though? Do you want to start a fight about pineapple on pizza? I won't fight you. I'm not the one. I'm saying others might. Yeah, got Miko's attention. Oh. Thanks, Bella. I'm gonna get some white on my plate to prep that up. Squeak, 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 squeak. Ooh, stay on that plate. The plate's getting so vertical that I'm honestly worried every time I pour paint now. It goes so quickly to the bottom of the plate. This is dangerous times. You want to see this volcano plate? Look at this. How? I have to like tilt it on my table so it stops it from moving down. I saw a YouTube ad for a large pizza chain using vegan sausage as a topping option. That's great. They're really being flexible. I saw some like cauliflower crust pizza recently. There's lots of different dietary customizations now. Pineapple on ham pizza is a feat of culinary excellence. Pizza. I think you need to do it on a computer or phone. Oh, thank you. Yes. Hi, Lolo. That's a great point from Sharon. Yes. If you try and do it on a phone or an iPad, you won't get some of those options. That's the other key. Thank you, Sharon. I need to remember to say that more often. Do it on a PC. Do it on a desktop. Doesn't need to be PC. Desktop is the answer. Thank you very much, Sharon. Yeah, I didn't realize the pineapple thing was Canadian. What you humming about? You humming about pizza or something else? Yes, actually, Bella, I do this pretty much once a week on Fridays, sometimes twice a week. I'm actually doing one, the next one is Sunday. Sunday at 2 p.m. No worries, Groki. Sunday, 2 p.m. EST. I'll be doing, let me show you. I'll be instructing this wreath step by step. Wreath and cardinals. We had a request for more cardinals. I thought the wreath was very holiday festive. We have some little candy canes in there, so I'll be doing this one step by step. 2 p.m. EST on Sunday, same place here on Twitch. So if you're interested, you can, yeah, check that out too. Perfect blend of sweet and savory. Mm. Yeah, I like it, Bleb. I just don't think it's like the bee's knees. I don't think it's the worst thing ever. It's kind of in between for me. That's why I said I won't fight you. I just appreciate your tastes. Pineapple does go on pizza. It does go on pizza, says Anna. Call the ham baked Canadian bacon. That's about, it's Canadian bacon, it's not ham. Anyone's wondering, a cheeseburger. Oh, is that what you got, Todd? I've heard good things. Definitely does. Thank you very much, Canine. Pokemon, nice to see you. Totes pineapple goes on pizza. Wow, we got a lot of pineapple supporters. I'm surprised. Oh, that's so great, Bella. I can't wait. So that's gonna be Sunday, and then I have another one coming up next Friday as well. It's pretty consistently on Fridays. I'll be taking a quick little break for Christmas and New Year's, but otherwise right back at it in the new year. Pickle pizza? Really? I've never seen that, Anna. Pickle pizza. I've heard of it. I've never seen it locally. Weird. I'm not looking at the pizzas, apparently. I'm not looking at all the different pizzas. I have my go-to, and that's it. Any suggestions on what to do with all these paintings I'm doing? I can't hang them all, Jenner. I have lots of lovely suggestions. How about I'm going to teach the next step just so we can, like, do that as I talk, and I'm going to talk to you about that, because I do have suggestions. Let's do the snow next. So the snow, you can see, kind of goes all along these bottoms of the trees. You can go right on top of where we're going to go with this tree. You don't need to like map out an area. So we're just kind of covering with some nice snow. So I'm using white paint. I'm personally using the medium round. If you want to use the large flat, you can. I like the medium round though because it gives some texture. It allows you to do all these small little brush strokes and kind of blob the paint on, and then that way it looks like little piles of snow. So you can see I'm just kind of wiping back and forth like that. One thing you should be careful of, as you can see that just happened, is touching the green. I think there was actually just green in my brush there. It kind of came out with the water. But just be careful. If you have any wet green trees, you'll want to kind of avoid those. So just kind of tap right next to them or right below, and you should be pretty safe. If you happen to dip into some wet green by accident, just quickly wipe off your brush, grab more white paint, and then you're good to go. But otherwise, I'm very simply just kind of covering up this whole area in some nice fresh snow. So that was Jenner asking. So yeah, Jenner ideas. Give them out as gifts. That's always a lovely, lovely thing. Go through your designs. Think of like who would appreciate the designs, like how they relate to your friends, family, etc. Give them as gifts. I'm sure they would love to know that you thought of them. With the painting design, I think it's really, really cool to receive art as a gift. So I would suggest that. If you've kind of like gifted out all your friends and family, that's quite possible. That's okay. You can donate the paintings. A great idea is to go to a retirement home and donate them. I used to do that quite often actually because I have lots of extra paintings. Contact any local retirement home, explain that you have some paintings and you just want to brighten up some people's days, and they will probably take you up on the offer. Retirement homes are always looking for nice art to hang around and to give out to their seniors. I've done it before where I organize events with the retirement home, so I go in with like 20 to 30 paintings. They make a whole afternoon out of it. They will have the seniors look around at the paintings, choose which one they want. Sometimes they make them play a game for the paintings, which is always really sweet, so that's a good idea. And yeah, those are all free things, honestly, because, yeah, I just like the idea of giving them out for free. I did a free giveaway this summer, for example. I had about 300 paintings that I didn't want to sell, so I gave them out for free at the park. I literally made a Facebook post about it a few days beforehand. The word got around. People were waiting for me when I arrived, and I just gave them out for free. I requested that people take maybe only 1 or 2 each, and that way we could give as many people paintings as possible, and it worked. The paintings were gone in under an hour. People like paintings, people like art. My request was that they just enjoy them or give them as gifts. They don't sell them, please, thank you. And yeah, I trust that everybody is enjoying them. So just a couple ideas. There's, yeah, rather than selling them, there's a lot of value in just seeing people happy with the art too. And having people enjoy your art is a huge, huge thing. So I highly recommend trying that. Let me catch up on chat here. Thank you, Mama Christy. I appreciate it. Yeah, yay for Sunday, dude. I know we've missed them a little bit. I'm going to try my best to get back at them in the new year. Dorian says it does belong on pizza. We're going to try anything on pizza. Mashed potato, man. I know, right? I've had a butter chicken pizza before. That was delicious. To be fair, it's just kind of like chicken seasoned with the different spices of butter chicken. It wasn't super saucy, but it was delicious. The pickles are what's getting me right now, though. I have not. Bella, everyone talks about pickles and peanut butter as a great combination. I don't understand. I've never tried it, but I'm skeptical. Oh, thank you, Becky. I would love that. I'll try this. I'll let you guys know what I think of pickled pizza. Becky's going to send it to me. Thank you so much. Not that bad. Interesting. Yeah, I agree, pleb. I try anything once. Exactly. I don't want to judge too hard. I am skeptical of the peanut butter pickle, but I would try it. McMullen's has it? Really? I've never heard of Franklin's, Anna, but I'm shocked that McMullen's does. Alrighty, cool. Well, not anything. You took that back quick. Had to ask Erin, did you use that wood grain on my barn for the background of the wreath? I honestly wasn't looking at it, pleb, but sometimes there's some, like, hidden inspo in here, you know? Because I always look at all of those inspiration photos that you guys post. May have subliminally been in there. Who knows? Who knows? I wasn't looking straight at it. But if, yeah, you say it looked like it, it probably was then. Because I'm always looking at those. So it's quite possible. Yeah, Jenner. And again, like, especially at this time of year, I understand with COVID it might be a little more difficult. I did drop off paintings at a retirement home maybe 4 months back before the park giveaway that I did. And yeah, I wasn't able to do a fun event like I usually did, like literally handing them out to the seniors, of course, but it was just an organized thing where I said I'll arrive at 1 o'clock, I'll drop off the boxes of paintings. A staff member came outside, took the box. I never entered the premises, so it was still pretty safe. Yeah, so it's totally possible right now. Yes, exactly, too, receiving outside. Yes, very good, K9. Yeah, definitely coordinate with somebody right now because of that. When I was talking about those past events, that was all like in the past few years. But otherwise, I'm sure you could drop off a box. Hospitals are a good idea. I've just never been able to find a hospital contact, like somebody to organize that for me. But retirement homes, I don't know. I'm able to find somebody pretty quick to help me. I have to throw my... Oh, get out of here, Groki! Have you tried asking if people just take a quick photo? See what people want. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that's what they did, pleb. I'm sure they took the box and probably, like, just stuck it in a closet for a couple days. With blue cheese, Dorian? Really? Yeah, sure. It was, you know, I joke that, like, it was taking up space in my apartment, and I was like, I need to get these out of here, but I don't know. It was like months into COVID in the summer, right? And it was just like, everyone was so down, and I was like, this would really just make everybody really happy. Yeah, and it did. Can't stand the smell of pickles? Oh, I love pickles. Man, you guys have some wild pizza options. No, never peanut butter with gummies? I know, me too, Miko. I'm kind of like, maybe I'll order pizza later. Giving one more quick half minute to catch up on chat, and then we'll keep going. We do want the white to be a little bit dry. We don't want it to be mixing a whole lot with the green. Pleb. Muffled sounds. It's pizza night for everybody. Elvin, I used to buy a lot at a time. That was because I was with like a different position, I guess. I used to buy like hundreds at a time. Hundreds. Not as much anymore. I usually like the 5-packs from Michael's. Maybe I'll buy a couple 5-packs at a time, but nothing in the quantities that I was doing before. 5-packs are great though. They're amazing value. They're like $17 Canadian for 5. So just over $3 each. I think that's fantastic value. I love those cookie wheels. That's just how it works. Whoopsie, they stuck. Okay, let's get the big tree on. That'll be next year. So we're gonna do the nice big tree in the middle. And then what we're going to do is use white to kind of tap on top of our trees in the background. We would do this now, but I'm just worried there's maybe still a few spots that are too wet, and we do want it very, very dry to be able to tap on top. So just so you know, might seem a little backwards. We might want to do the white first, but because of the drying time, we're going to do the foreground tree first. All right, so now we're going to mix a little bit of a brighter green. So you can see this is quite dark. We want to get this a little lighter. So you want to go back to your plate. You want to mix blue and yellow together again, but this time use a little extra yellow. A little extra yellow. I'm gonna put a little more there. Oh, there's my blue. So a little extra yellow. You could theoretically use some white as well. I find the white just changes the tone a little bit too much though. It makes it look a little more like minty. And I prefer having it brighter, kind of like leaning kind of lime green. So I'm working my way to lime just by adding more yellow. Vendor at the Brantford Farmers Market. Oh my gosh, you guys are all hooked up with the pickle pizzas. Sounds like I'm gonna get hooked up with one too, so that's good. I can't wait to try it now. This is like all the rage apparently. I know, me too, Miko. You and me both. Or excuse me, that's not Miko, that's Bella. Yes, American prices, Jenner, correct. I was talking Canadian. Canadian price $17. 3 canvases for $5 US is a sweet deal. I'm very jealous of all of your deals in the US. So this tree, everybody, I'm starting a little different. Well, excuse me, I'm not starting it a little different. It'll end a little different. I'm starting the same. I'm starting with a nice long vertical line. If you like this technique and you want to keep things consistent, feel free to do that. I'm going to teach you a different technique for trees now. It's a little more kind of blobby, a little more full. You can see we don't have as many like individual branches coming out here. If you see where my mouse is going, it's all very kind of just angled down. We have small little like dollops of paint coming out, but they're not individual branches. So let me show you that. Maybe I'll zoom in at the top here so you can really see as well. That would be a good idea. Okay. So again, this is another tree that I did recently. I'm kind of combining all techniques in this painting apparently. But this time I'm grabbing some paint on my brush. I'm not flattening it out, it's just nice and round. And I just like to use the brush and I like to do small brush strokes with it. So I just kind of use the tip of the brush. I'm kind of angling the brush, see an angle here rather than going straight at it, straight up and down. It's kind of angled like this. At the very top, I like to start with one stroke just coming down like that to keep it kind of tippy at the top. Dragon, I see you there. Welcome in. I'm going to catch up on all the comments in a second after I do a little bit of this. So I start with one brush stroke down and do like 2 more kind of in a V shape. I just kind of go down and in, down and in. I'll do that again, just a little bit wider, so you can see they're starting a little further out this time. And as I go down, I'm just trying to look at the edge here and make sure that just like these trees, it starts kind of thin at the top and starts to get wider, wider, wider. It's gonna get wider, wider, wider. Same thing as before. I want to be careful that I'm not getting too excited at the start. In fact, I maybe have gotten a little too excited, so I'm gonna make it a little higher to fix that. Hee hee. And I'm just kind of continuing this technique all the way down. So I'm not necessarily going brush stroke, brush stroke, brush stroke. I'm just kind of looking at this edge and just adding brush strokes of all kinds. You can make them kind of tilt down. You can make them tilt straight out. Just anything so it looks a little more messy, just so they're not all lined up. Stroke, 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 stroke. If you want to focus on just the edge first, you can, if that kind of helps you see things better. Or you can kind of fill in the middle as you go, because in the middle you're just really doing small brush strokes and kind of combining them all together to get some nice texture. See that? And I'm continuing to add paint to my brush. I want to make sure there's a large amount of paint on my brush so each stroke looks nice and clean. If you don't add paint, eventually, I'm just going to messily put this on, eventually it's going to look like this. It's going to be a little transparent. It's not going to look as clean. So you're just continuing to add paint to your brush as you go down. I'm going to zoom out now so you can see it as a whole and how it's like starting to come together here. Out, out, out. There we go. And I'll try and catch up on chat at the same time. I have pizza, come take it from me, please. Oh, you don't want that. Oh, you don't want that, pleb. Eat the things, enjoy the things, you deserve it. 40 pack for 87. Oh my gosh, yeah, see, I'm so jealous. Again, US prices are gonna be wild. Todd brings up a great company, Blick. Not in Canada, unfortunately, but for you Americans, fantastic deals on canvas. They ship as well, so you don't have to go in anywhere, which is great. Deal with it, says Miko. Yeah, it's not bad, Alvin, but like, yeah, it's, I wish we had the deals that they had down there. Oh, you're picking up a tree tomorrow? Pleb, like a real one, I assume? I'm jealous, my place doesn't allow that. They say fake trees only. $300,000 acres of land, beautiful sharp pines along the right side. Oh, that's nice. James, hello, that's your hand? Yes, your hand fell off. So just continuing. So again, these small strokes. You can do little taps if you want. I just kind of do a small stroke, lift up, do another one. Oh, K9, you're definitely gonna hit it tonight. Get out of here. I'm doing Barb's painting on Monday. When should we do yours? Tempted to watch all the Star Wars movies right now. I feel like it's not a realistic goal. Depends how you're feeling, pleb. Are you feeling crazy? Are you feeling just wide awake? I believe in you. Don't let your dreams be memes. You can do it. Got one down tomorrow. Cool. That'll be a nice activity. Get it all decorated. I decorated quite early this year, actually, compared to usual. Sometimes it feels like my paint talks to me. Use me, use me, use me. That's funny. Make me beautiful. Combine me with the other paints and make me beautiful. Thank you. Just paint things, you know? So again, just looking at the edge, bringing it wider and wider and wider. Sir, welcome in. How's it going? Hi, what's up? I'm with a friend that liked to paint, so we keep watching. Cool. I didn't know you painted. Are you being legit here, sir? I've never heard you say that before. Tell me if you are. Oh yeah, Phoenix? Alright, so a few of you are doing trees tomorrow. Cool, cool, cool. Pick up an assortment of fan brushes today. Oh! I have one fan brush. I have used it before. It works beautifully. It's just so hard, Elvin. Like, I'm so stuck on these, like, 3 that I use. Sometimes 4. It's bizarre for me to pick up a fan brush, but it was fun when I used it. Just do it. Make it so hard to watch the original Star Wars without the poopy CGI. Does anyone have suggestions for Mystic on that? Where to find without poopy CGI? The bottom, by the way, everybody, in case you're wondering what goes on at the bottom, you're just kind of doing the same thing, just kind of going right across here. So doing your small little brush strokes at all angles, kind of like mixing them up a little bit, just so it makes it look like they're kind of popping out into the snow in a way. I'm just gonna widen out my bottom. It looks like mine's a little bit thin, so I'm just gonna maybe add a little extra to each edge here. Make it look a little wider along the middle and bottom part. And I'm noticing in my view here, I can kind of see my trunk. To get rid of that, if you're seeing that on yours, just brush more on top of it, like aggressively, a little more pressure. It starts to get rid of it. If you still see a little hint of it, you just need to add another layer a little later. And in fact, we will be adding a nice light green layer on top, so do not worry, we can do that next. Popping in a bit to watch before working on art commission. Sounds good, Dragon. Good luck on your... You've been so busy, Dragon. I'm so impressed with how much you've been doing. Like, every day I feel like you're like working on another commission. I'm like, my gosh, go, go, go. So I'm so happy you're here. Keep working on those commissions. Pooping in for a bit. Of course you read it that way. I don't have Elf on a Shelf. No, Bella. I'm sure some people do, though, in here. Big nasty animatronics. Somebody help Mystic. I don't, but I subscribed today for university. Oh, you did? Congrats, sir. That's always, is that something you've always been kind of thinking about? Whoa, that's a big step. That's so, so cool. Design and illustration. Ooh, I hope it's enjoyable. Yes, you do, Mystic. I thought of you when they asked that. Still haven't decided. I have a tendency to be indecisive, so most likely. No, no worries. Yeah, you can take your time. Yeah, sure. Well, the process really, I mean, so far, K9, has been people just shoot me over a quick reference pic or a quick idea, and thus far I've been able to do it pretty quickly and easily. I just say as long as it's not overly complicated, as long as it's something that you think that you, based on what you've seen me do, is kind of like within my abilities in terms of like my art style and stuff. I'd prefer not to replicate like another piece of art if that's was an option. I'd rather just create something unique for you. If it's like a photo or something that you want me to base it off of, perfect. Yeah, just nothing too complicated. I think in my redemption I say like something that theoretically could be completed in an hour or two. I usually do it longer as you've seen, but just so it's not overly complicated, that's what I generally stick to. But yeah, take your time. Alright, I'm going to keep catching up on chat in a second. Keep chatting away. I'm just going to do a second layer now. So you might notice in my tree, if you look really hard in between the little baubles, there is some very, very light green in there. That's just to add a second layer on top, adds a little bit of a highlight. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going back to my plate and I'm mixing more yellow into my green. So even more yellow now. Making a very, very kind of light limey green. You can even mix a tiny bit of white in there too. That'll help just brighten it up even more. It'll still give you a nice lime green vibe, but it will brighten it up enough that it will really show up on top of your existing green. Okay, there we go. And for this, what I do is I just kind of pile on some little strokes here. I'm not going to be doing the whole thing again, of course. We don't want to cover up all of our hard work. So I'm just very, very kind of like sporadically going around doing brush strokes of all different angles, right? I'm trying to make sure I'm not going in a lineup like this. I'm trying to twist my brush with every brush stroke, going down, over, left, right, angled, over, things like that. So yeah, again, it makes it look like maybe there's some little branches that are hitting some light, just getting nice and highlighted. And again, it kind of provides a second layer, so if you saw anything behind your original tree, that is now kind of covered up with this step. Give me free trial Disney. Maybe they'll do it again. Who knows? Who knows? May you play Christmas music, please? Ooh, so I would love to, but I'm trying very hard, Bella, to stick to DMCA-friendly music. If you're not aware, on Twitch, it's been a big thing recently where channels have been taken down due to playing copyrighted music, so I've been very careful to play copyright-free. I haven't found a copyright-free Christmas playlist. Otherwise, I would. I would love to do that right now. It'd be the perfect mood. It is awesome. Definitely haven't been this busy in a long time. Yeah, that's good. I would enjoy it while you can. I'm sure you're like busy and kind of like maybe even stressed. You seem to be just rolling with it though. Again, like all your little commissions, they're always popping up in the art share. I'm just like, look at you go. So keep going, keep rolling. Do you use oils or acrylics? Mom and Christy, I'm using acrylics right now, and most often I use acrylics. I play with oils once in a blue moon. I still have my oil painting that is never finished on the go. Sometimes I pull it on stream. I haven't pulled it on stream in a minute. So yeah, my answer is 95, probably 99% acrylics. Elf on the shelf and found an easy little paint apron. Oh, little painty elf. Oh, that's precious. Those elves kind of creep me out, but that wouldn't. If you had a little paint apron and easel. Oh my gosh. You're done already. You need to start. Okay, fun. You're way ahead of me. I'm almost done with my green, and then I'll give a quick little minute for everybody. Oh, that's sweet, pleb. Thanks for offering. There you go. So again, I don't want to overload it because I like the idea of seeing the darkness behind, so just as much as you feel. Zach, welcome in. Hello. Sushi, welcome in as well. Both of you at the same time. Hi, Erin. Hi, Erin. Hi to both of you. Nice to see you. Hope your Friday evenings are going well. Oh, yeah. No, I totally agree. I totally agree, Bella. I wish I could play my own music all the time. It's just such a thing. My elves have knives and bats. That doesn't creep me out. Just the regular ones creep me out. Never to cross. Yeah, give her that Disney login and then leave quietly. My elf painted a portrait of me. It was precious. Did they? This is yours now. Yours forever. Don't worry about it. Fades into the darkness. Smart move. Smart move. The eyes. They're just always up to something. Yeah, you're right. It's the eyes. They're kind of like side-eyeing at all times. All times. Our elf's name is Hermie, like the oh, from Rudolph. Yes, 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 yes. I want to be a dentist. You, what? I love that. He just wants to follow his dreams. He has a little dentist book. I don't need to be an elf. I'm going to be a dentist. He's practicing on his little little dolls that he makes. You're supposed to make dolls. I don't stand for the actions that act on the ritual force. Santa Claus. Okay, we've got the green on, so let's go back to the background trees there. Oh yeah, we've got like 40 minutes. This is good timing. We're just going to start to put snow on our background trees. So if you like the trees as they are, that's totally fine. I put snow on them just to help really distinguish them from the front green tree. Even though we're going to color it up, I still felt the white kind of helped push them back a bit and separate them, because you can see it's getting a little messy in here. So a little bit of white will help. So I'm using the same brush, the medium round brush. I just washed it off. Grabbing a little bit of white. And I am wiping the white off a little bit. So I have a towel on my lap here and just kind of wiping it off a little. So there's no blobs of white. It's just kind of like my bristles are coated in the white. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly tap it on top of my trees. And again, these should be dry at this point. If you think there's a little bit of wetness, if you see any blobs, just avoid those parts for now. But you're using it the same way as you did before. You're kind of flattening the brush, and then you're lightly tapping on top. The only difference is this time you're kind of leaving more gaps here and there. You're not going to be trying to cover up the entire area, right? Because it's just a light dusting of snow. So kind of like tapping along, maybe just leaving a slight gap without doing stripes, right? You don't want to go right across like this, right across like this in stripes. You're just kind of mixing it up a little bit, lifting your brush up a little bit more, tapping a little lighter so there's some transparency. And then that way you get a nice dusting. Let's zoom you in. You can have a nice look-see. So again, rather than going straight across, you want to avoid that. Instead, just kind of randomly tap, leaving some gaps. All the way down. I'm going to try and cover up that line there. Grandma had this terrifying doll collection where every doll looked like they were staring all the time. Top it off, use their padlock. Whoa. 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 Sounds good, Bella? Mystic is wide-eyed at that. She wants to see these. Light testing of snow here means 50 centimeters. We do relate being in Canada, though. Not right now. Pleb, how's your snow looking where you are right now? Colorado. Okay, and then you can kind of have a look if you want to do more snow. If you want more of a Colorado light dusting of snow, you can start to pile on maybe a little bit more. I kind of just do that even more sporadically, and then that way it kind of even splits up the snow in a way. You know, you have some brighter piles of snow here and there, so just tapping the same way, just with maybe a little more paint layering on top, and that way you get some bright spots as well. Let's zoom out, see how it's looking. There we go. That's one tree done. We can do a bunch more. So just take your time. I'm going to take my time here. And then we'll move along when we're all ready. It's about 1.5 feet on the ground. Oh, sick. I'm so jealous. Yeah, it keeps snowing here. It's maybe snowed like 3-4 times at this point, pleb, but sticks around for a day, leaves. Gets all kind of like soggy and gross. Not the best. I just want it to stay. Kentville, mild like cover of snow. Ice store tomorrow. Nadine, welcome in. Nice to see you. Ice storms aren't good. I never look forward to ice storms. Those are dangerous. I'm gonna check about my area. Oh yeah, I know, Pleb, I know, but still jealous, still jealous. We barely have any snow in Winnipeg, and we've had warmer temperatures. Really? Yeah, Winnipeg's usually getting rocked at this time of year. Wow, that's surprising. Winnipeg's usually like the first place I hear about getting all the snow at the start of the season, so that's pretty nuts. I want some light, fluffy stuff. Our snow has been all slurpy. Exactly, that's what I want. I want what Pleb is describing, just like the dumping of feet of snow. Yeah, slurpy, exactly. Yeah, it's soggy. I described it as soggy earlier. It just gets all soggy and gross. It's a nice little light dusting right when it happens, then within an hour it's just like, oh, it's slushy. As a reminder, everybody, keep in mind you don't want to overlap onto this big tree, right? So whenever you get to kind of this, oops, I kind of did overlap because that's turning green. When you get to this lime greeny area, just be a little more careful. Again, if you get a little green in there, either just roll with it or you can wipe off your brush, grab a little more white and keep going. Just be careful around those edges. Should be good skiing this weekend on the slopes. Sick, all powder, yup. I wish, man. Love to go boarding right now. Gonna be paying this one. Oh yeah, Nadine, like at a later date. He just popped in today just to say hi. I'll try and get this one up quicker because I'm sure a lot of people probably want this done for the next week or two if they're doing it as a gift or want it for decoration. So I'll try my very best to put this one as priority. Shouldn't be too hard because again, the other ones I have like lined up ready to go. I just need to do detailed descriptions and stuff and thumbnails and all that, but otherwise they're good to go. So same technique all the way, lightly tapping, leaving some gaps. I haven't been going back as much and adding more snow, but you could be doing that too. Again, just piling on a little bit more here and there. It makes it a little brighter. I just love the idea of piles, big piles of snow. Layering it on. Choose how snowy you want your area to be. It's your world. Nadine, we've got another movie night tomorrow if you're interested. Hee hee. When it comes gets sunny out, I'll be able to take some good pics. Can't see that far at the moment. The lighting is always oh yeah. Oh yeah. Need to get a new camera for some night shots. That'd be sick. You take some good photos, Pleb. I saw you dump a few when you returned to the Discord. They were beautiful. Alright, I'm on my last tree. This one is forever kind of funny since I demonstrated that that thing on it. I should have taken a little more time to correct it. But it's alright. It's our little goofy tree. Can't see the eyes? Oh, because you put a Christmas hat on him? Sounds good, Nadine. You're so funny. Required supplies for movie night. Alright, sounds good, Bella. Thanks so much for popping in. I appreciate all your kind words. And yeah, maybe I'll see you Sunday. I think you said you were interested in. Sunday, 2 p.m. EST. EST. Eastern Standard Time Zone. Okay. Those are my trees, all snowed up, nice and covered. I'll give everyone a minute or two if you're still working. We will do the star next because I still see my green a little bit wet in here, so we're going to give that a little bit of time. Then we can just decorate this up. Bye, moonshine. Trying to be festive. I see. What is that covering? Is that an... Oh, so you made... Oh, the Santa smile. I see. I see. Are you going to keep testing and uploading? I have to say real fast though, apple pie moonshine. Wait, what? Like flavored moonshine that's flavored as apple pie? Yeah, only have the fireplace decorated right now. Not sure if it'll be a Christmas tree or not this year. Aw. Well, I hope you do if that's what you're looking for, Dragon, but otherwise, no worries. A little bit of deco is fun too. I don't do much other than my tree either. I have a tree and then I do like 2 or 3 little strings of lights, just like doorway, window type stuff along my TV area. It's nothing crazy. My cat is stuck to me like glue, literally stuck. I taught some people how to paint today, as I do always apparently. Yeah, somebody had their dog walk through their paint while they were painting and then just leave little paw prints, and I was like, oh no! Pets just love it when you're painting. I'm wondering if something is wrong. He is pushed up against me. Oh! I think he's probably just cuddling. I don't own cats, so I don't really know, but I feel like that's just like getting cozy, no? Basically just moonshine distilled through apples. Then he puts, ooh, that sounds delicious. I think I have heard of that before. Maybe I just heard it called like apple cinnamon moonshine rather than apple pie. Yeah, it sounds very warming. Very festive and warming. Mm-hmm. See you, Bella. Thanks again for popping in. It was really nice chatting with you. Everyone loves your name. Winter bonfire drink of choice out here. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I'll let Phoenix answer. I know where she is, but just in case. There's a lot of people in Ontario here, Nadine. And Canada. We're really all over, but yeah. Oh, you sure can, Krithy. That's a fantastic idea. I'm gonna do the star, I'm gonna decorate it, but little presents would be cute. It's kind of like, who are the presents for? Are they for the little woodland animals out in the forest? I don't know. I don't know. That would be a cute little idea. Not normal for him, which is why I think something is wrong. Oh no. Just monitor it maybe, Phoenix. You know, keep an eye. There you go. Phoenix is in Ottawa. I just wanted to make sure she was cool with that. Hope he's just being loving. I hope so too. Yeah, keep an eye on it. Trees and me are not friends. Oh, Charlene, you know the drill. You can message me on Facebook as you do. I can always help you. Is it the shape of them? Is it like the texture of them? I know exactly where cat is stuck to you. I'm 30 minutes from you. Oh, is there maybe like a storm or something? Or maybe those are unrelated comments. Born to Kill, welcome in. Nice to see you. How's it going? Massive ice storm. Oh, okay, there you go. So it is. They were related. Your cat senses. Yeah, yeah, animals. Interesting. Yep, Peterborough. There you go. Yeah, there's lots of people in Ontario here. There you are. Hipster, hey, Canada Day tomorrow? It is! Yeah, I wasn't able to figure out a good day. I almost called you Keanu. I was going to say, Keanu, I haven't figured out a day. I couldn't figure out a good day before Cyberpunk. So I figured like maybe a Saturday would be fun. I wanted to keep it a Saturday so that more people were available. And I know Cyberpunk is released at this point, so maybe people are going to be diving into that. That's okay. At least the VOD will be there for when they want to watch it. And yeah, I'll be attempting to paint Keanu Reeves tomorrow. I'm so nervous, hipster. I was looking up references today. I was like, what did I sign up for? What did I do? I don't ever do portraits. I'm trying to find a very vibey, like, dark, colorful painting of Keanu, like maybe from John Wick or something. So yeah, general call out. Anyone in Discord, if they want to suggest any cool Keanu pics for me, throw them in the inspo channel. Again, what I'm looking for is something a little more simplistic in terms of, like, silhouette, darker colors. If there's, like, light hitting off his hair and he looks all, like, beautiful and sultry, fantastic. Just not, like, a straight-on portrait. You know, him, like, looking at the camera. I'm hoping for something a little darker, a little spoopier. Mm-hmm. You can call me Keanu. Okay. Special guest tomorrow. Here he is, everybody. Since only when our host doesn't like storms. There you go. ABC entry is not for me. Charlene, I want to get you there. I want to get you there, though. Yeah, Sharon, you're probably close enough. I don't think I'm close enough that I would get it. But maybe. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next step, everyone. I'm just going to add a cute little star up here. I'm trying to stall to allow this paint to dry, of course, because there are some little blobs. Maybe I'll point that out first. If you see any big blobs on your canvas right now, you can kind of use a brush to kind of get rid of those. Just kind of flatten them out or lift them up with your brush by taking your brush and just wiping them off. Just if you want to be able to stick to the time of this painting. If you don't mind, like, setting it down, decorating it another day, that's okay. This will all dry within like 20 minutes. I just want to make sure nobody's, like, getting caught up in the blobs there. So if you see any big blobs of green that just aren't dry, wipe them away or flatten them out. And I'm sure in the next 5-10 minutes we'll be okay to move on to that last little step of adding all of our beautiful colors. For now, though, I'm going to my plate and mixing yellow and white to make a nice bright shiny star. So I'm using a small detail brush. I've switched to a nice small brush, using yellow and white to make a nice bright yellow. I just got out of a 4-hour Cyberpunk binge that felt like 20 minutes. Is that what the game does to you? That's so sick, though. I hope you've been enjoying it, hipsters. Quite a few people in the chat who were talking about it earlier who have been playing it. No spoilies, obviously you know that, but feel free to gloat about the game, talk about how much you're enjoying it or not enjoying it. I don't know, I heard there's a lot of bugs, so rant. Yeah, Arga's one of them. Used a hairdryer. There you go. Yep, Kel, that's a fantastic idea. If you have a hairdryer handy, if you want to give it a quick that would work too. No glitches. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Sick. Alright, so I'm going to use the white-yellow mixture with a small detail brush. And I'm just making a nice star shape. So everyone makes their star shapes differently. I think back to elementary school when I did... Whoopsie. That's gonna fall if I don't tighten it. I'm trying to show you the star. Tighten, tighten, tighten. Phew. There we go. Hopefully that doesn't fall midway through. Scary. Now I'm scared. Tilt up. Not perfect, but it'll do. So the way I make a star, the way I always learned to do it in school, was to start with the number 7. So I go across and over, like it's a number 7. Very, like, boxy number 7. It's not coming down, it's coming over. Over to the left. And then you go up and to the right, so you're trying to get the middle point, so you're doing that top middle point. Up to the right. Down to the right. So you're doing that bottom point, and then you match it all up with one more. And at least that gives you a basic shape. You can kind of fill it in if it looks a little bit off. You can, of course, change it up a little bit. You can see mine is a little bit uneven. Maybe that right hand point is a little short, so you can just kind of extend it a little, bring it back in. Point is, though, you get a nice little basic shape that you can work with. My star apparently is very, very big. It's going to fall off the top, which is fine by me. I'll just keep it like that. Yay, there it is. And again, you can see my paint is a tiny bit transparent. I'm just trying to even it out a little bit nicer by using a little bit of pressure. You can always do a second coat if you want. Played a couple hours last night, got frustrated because of all the bugs. I saw you starting it too on stream, I think, right? You were one of the people I saw being like, it's online, I'm booting up right now. Trees are so good. Thanks, man. Yeah, and I was curious what you thought about it because I'm pretty sure you turned it on right when it was released. I heard there were issues. Issues with a few. Come on, back down. You're the next contestant on Tutorials with Erin. There we go. Cool. Oh, and I guess the other thing I did is I added little, like, beams coming off of it. I just wanted the cutesy little look, so I took my brush. I just did a couple little lines coming out from the star as if it's literally glowing in a cute little cartoony way, you know? Just the little bright marks like that. Just sparkling away. Jirek, welcome in. How's it going? Have you been playing Cyberpunk? We were just talking about it. Try so hard to stream it. My PC couldn't. Oh, it couldn't handle it. Oh no. I didn't know if you ended up getting it working or not. I'm sorry it didn't work. Dang. I just went with bugs too, man. Like, people weren't able to get it started and it was trying to install more things and it was a whole ordeal apparently, so. Sorry your PC couldn't do it though. Just giving a quick minute in case anyone's doing the star. And then I'm gonna start to pretty this up with some little colorful ornaments. I can play the game, I can stream, but my CPU tries to do both and is like, nah dog, not today. Sads. You could maybe like, do you have a Discord community, Hipster? Maybe you could stream it to Discord. Just if you wanted some company while you play, maybe that's an idea. I don't know if your computer would be able to handle that versus Twitch. I would assume you have a better chance at that. Maybe, maybe. Okie dokie. I'm gonna start decorating this tree. The steps to decorating are pretty straightforward, to be honest, but it does take a little bit because we want to really fill up our tree. At least my tree is like totally dressed to the nines, lots and lots of ornaments. They even kind of overlap one another a little bit. So I just want to make sure I'm able to get you all the colors if you want to mix the colors and just to be able to really complete the tree. So I'm going to keep using this small detail brush. And I'm going to start with just a nice red. And I'll let you know the red isn't technically plain red. It is red with a tiny bit of white in there. You'll notice a trend. A lot of these colors have a little bit of white in them, and that's because we want them to go nicely on top of the green. The green is a very dark color. And some of the paints are a little bit transparent. I find the yellow is very transparent and the red is a little bit transparent. So adding a little bit of white to those colors really helps with making them nice and opaque on top. So for red, I'm mixing mostly red with just a tinge of white. So I'm not trying to make it pink, I'm just trying to mix a little bit of white in there so it could be a little more opaque on top. No Discord yet, one of these days, it's OBS that eats up. Right, so you probably could. I assume it doesn't matter where I stream. Oh, but you're not using OBS for Discord. I don't think, unless there's something, I don't think so. My CPU is 8 years old. Okay, basically, good, gotcha. Got it, I'm fallen, I see. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, you don't need to open up, like, Streamlabs or anything for it. It's literally like sharing your screen. You can share the application window or just your entire screen. Hipster, if there's nothing going on in my community, you're more than welcome to do that. Yeah, feel free. People all the time, I think they're in there right now, probably. Especially on a Friday night, usually people are just playing games in any of those voice channels and displaying their screen. As long as it's inclusive to everybody, go for it. It might be more fun, you can have some company. Okay, lots of red, a little bit of white on my brush. I'm just gonna start by doing some circles. So lots of paint, just kind of caking it on. Small, medium, large circles everywhere. Yeah, I get it though, Hipster. Discord's a lot to set up. It's stressful, at least it was for me. I'm sure it takes a little bit of power, but I would guess not as much as Twitch. Not as much as, yeah, OBS, as you said. It's just like share your screen, that's it. Yeah, of course, of course. And I know a lot of people in the community are hype about it, so it's totally relevant. Yeah. I'm sure I'll get people popping in there being like, I play too. But again, excited you'll be around for tomorrow. I know you're one of the people who are very excited about that. I still need to think about what else we're doing that stream. I don't really know. That's a missed opportunity. We could have watched Keanu movies tomorrow. What was I thinking? I was just so excited about the holiday season. I was like, holiday list. Dude, what was I thinking? Dang. Another time. Okay. Maybe one or two more. If you're ever wondering how many to add, just add less than you think, because you can always go back and add more, right? It's harder to delete, it's harder to go backwards. So if you're like me, you're like, I don't know if I should add more. Just don't. Go on to another color, you can add more. You can always circle back to red if you need to. Keanu over Christmas. I don't know why I didn't think of this. I was thinking today hipster about the list, and I was like, what are we gonna do? Oh, Christmas is coming up. And Keanu's basically modern day Jesus Christ, so it's kind of the same. The celebration, yes. Alright, so new color, everybody. If you want to follow along with the colors, again, if I didn't say before, customize as you like. If you want more of like a, put together tree where you do warm colors, or like pinks and blues only, or purples and pink, whatever. Do whatever color combo you want. I just went for full rainbow, as I often do. So red and yellow. Red and yellow is how you make orange. I'm mixing red, yellow, and a little bit of white. Again, a little bit of white to make it a little more opaque on top of your dark green. Red, yellow, white. Same thing. Small, medium, round circles. And again, I really like to use lots of paint, kind of caking it on there. That way it gets a nice clean circle, a clean ornament each time. See how it really pops off? That was because of the little bit of white there. Do you ever want to get the giant ornaments in stores? Sometimes. Sometimes I'm tempted to get more of like an organized tree for sure. But my tree is very just mixed up with all of the different ornaments. I have the round balls like we see on here. I have lots of like crafty items as well. Just more personal stuff. A lot of stuff that was on my family tree growing up and now I have, or things that my grandma made, like very sentimental things. So every time I think about making the tree like look put together, I'm like, nah. To me it looks put together by having all of those things on it. It's very, very reminiscent, classic to me. But I know everyone else has their own things too, and I think that's pretty cool. Everyone's got a different idea of what they want their tree to look like. I have lots of lights on it, lots of colorful lights, again, like full rainbow, just all the colors, as bright as possible. Alright, there's some orange. Let's go on to yellow. I'm just literally going kind of like rainbow order right now. We've done red, we've done orange. Going on to yellow. So yellow, again, very important to mix with white. If you do just plain yellow, it's probably going to be very, very transparent. So yellow and white, mix it together. Caking it on. Nice and bright. So just like our star, again, white and yellow, so it looks nice and bright right on top of any dark colors. Hopefully you're finding this part nice and soothing too. I mean, there's not a whole lot in terms of technique here, of course. We're literally just taking paint, making little circles. Get lost in it. Just enjoy the idea of filling up the tree, one piece at a time. That's all it takes, is a little bit of patience sometimes. Krithy, have you added your presents yet under the tree? I know you said you were thinking of doing that. Oh, hipster enjoy. You always have some dope food going. Every time you mention what you're eating, I'm like, oh! Like last time I think it was Thai or pad Thai or something that like sparked a whole thing for me. I was just like, oh my god, I forgot Thai food existed. You just think of all the good stuff. Hawaiian barbecue. Okay, go off. Yeah, have a good time. Thanks for popping in. I'll see you tomorrow. And if not, I'll assume it's because you're diving into cyberpunk, and that's okay. Oh yeah, I'm 99% sure last time you had food, it was Thai food of some kind. I was like, oh my god, I forgot that existed. I cycle through my different cuisines and foods, and then Thai I forget about, you know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, enjoy your food, enjoy cyberpunk, etc., etc. Exactly, I'll definitely try and be there. Sounds good. Yeah, even if it's like you want to pop in and out, take a break from your game. That might be a healthy thing, you know? Take a healthy break after a couple hours, I'm sure I'll be on. Anyway, yep, you do you. You do you. I'm gonna do one more yellow one, then I'll move right along. See, it's starting to fill up. We still got lots of space. Beautiful tree as always. Thank you. Have a good night. You too. You too. Thank you so much. I've been doing a lot of trees lately. This is just like the final topper to that. All the trees put together. All right, so going in rainbow color order. Next would be green, but of course we already have green. So if you want to make a different shade of green, like maybe a super, super light green, a super, super dark green, you can. I just chose to skip it. I just chose to do different colors instead. So I'm going to go right into blue. I did a nice light blue. So I'm going to use the phthalo blue with lots of white. Make a nice kind of sky blue color. I do 2 shades of blue. This is the first of 2. I had to double check my original there to make sure I'm seeing what I'm seeing on my screen. Teal. Almost, yeah. I'm doing a light blue. If you want to put teal on there, straight teal, I don't think I have really teal, but you can mix it by doing a little bit of yellow into this color. If you make a nice light blue, just add a tiny bit of yellow. That'll make a beautiful teal color. Aqua, exactly. That'll be a nice color if you want to try that, Krithy, and anyone else. My water looks teal right now, actually. Speaking of. Did you highlight the snow at all? I did not. In the original, I'm just kind of looking, and it looks like there's maybe a little more texture in my original. Like you can kind of see through the white in a way. I'm looking at here. This is what you're kind of looking at here, Sharon. I think it's almost just streakier. Yeah, it's almost like streakier so you can kind of see through it down here. If this is what you're looking at where my mouse is moving. I think it's just that I was messier with the white. And I probably brought this blue all the way down, and therefore it's kind of showing through. Unless you're talking about my original, or not my original, the one I'm doing now, it's a little cleaner looking because I didn't bring the blue all the way down. If that's making sense. I think that might be what you're asking. And it's just in general messier down here. I can see there's like more strokes kind of like all in here, versus that's more just up here in this one. So if you like that look, you could maybe like splice in a little bit of like a light blue and kind of blend some white on top, and then that way it looks like some of it's highlighted with some shadows. But I would say this is more accidental than anything. You could do a second layer if that's what you're looking for, if you want to brighten it up in any way. I'm not sure if you were there watching when I made this one, but it was actually such a backwards painting when I was making it live on Twitch. I did like this tree I'm working on now, I did this one before these ones. It's because I couldn't figure out the like layout and design yet, so I was kind of playing around with things, so it's possible there's a couple like slight differences just because of the order, but this order makes way more sense for when I'm teaching it. I forget what step I did the snow in even. It was just all backwards. I remember saying it as I was making it. I was like, what am I doing? Sometimes I don't know where the painting's going and I need to like map things out. Anyway, 10. Thank you, Guruk. Alright, I'm going on to a new blue, so this blue is just going to be my plain phthalo blue. So my blue, straight from the bottle, looks like that. It's just nice and dark, which is perfect. I just want to do a new shade of blue to kind of counter the light blue that I have. So just blue, swirling that on. Same technique, all the different sizes. And just as a heads up, in case anyone's wondering how many more colors, I have 2 more colors. I have like a medium to dark purple color, and then I go kind of back to the start. I do a nice light bubblegum pink. And I'm sure that's where Mystic was saying she wants the bubblegum ornaments because there's some nice pink ones on there. But again, these are very reminiscent to like just those colorful gumballs in the gumball machines too, but the pink especially. Yes, original looks light as it has highlights. Okay, yeah, I think that's what it is, Sharon. I think it's like there was an undercoating of blue, and it's not even that I did 2 coats, it's that like some of the paint just stuck on top a little bit better. Here, maybe I'll show you this one. Let's have a look. Maybe you can see a little better. I think it's just texture of like the brush kind of stroking on top. You can see the blue a little bit through. There's blue here, here, here. And oh, see, especially there. It's the white piling on top messily. And then maybe some of it was thicker, some of it was thinner. Yeah. So if you like that, you could go in again, either with like a light blue and just kind of blend it in. Or you could do exactly the same as I did here. You could put blue all down here. That was really just the sky that I did. And then pile on white on top when it's dry, then that way you get more of like a streaky, textured look, as if there are highlights, yeah. Mm-hmm. Me when I'm eating the bubblegum ornaments. Having a time. That's what that cat's doing, he's just chewing some bubblegum, right? That makes sense. He's not popping, he's just having some gum. That feel when you have the bubblegum ornaments. Me because I watch Erin too much. Man, Popcat kind of came out of nowhere and I love it. I really thought we were all about Peepo Juice here, but Popcat has really made a quite the entrance. Alright, those are my dark blues. I'm going to move on to my, what I call like medium purple. It's a little hard to distinguish in this photo here, but this is a purple one here. Purple, purple. It's pretty close to the blue, but slightly different. So to make a nice purple, I'm mixing red and blue together. And I did mix a tiny bit of white in there. I just wanted to lighten up a tad. So after doing red and blue, I added a little bit of white. So again, it's not the darkest purple ever, but it's also not a lavender. If you want to go full lavender or lilac, you can add more white. I'm just doing a nice in-between. There we go. So I put it right next to a blue. Hopefully you can see a slight difference there. Wait, Mystic, there's such thing as bubblegum ornaments? These ones, Miko, they're bubblegum ornaments. Mystic's eating these. I'm giving this to her for Christmas and she's gonna... Bubblegum. We can only see by trying them. I don't condone what is suggested in the chat. Please do not bite into your glass ornaments. Again, Mystic, I feel like you would know this. Is there not a movie where someone like bites into an ornament like that and it goes crunch, crunch, crunch? You'll either crunch or be bubblegum. I swear there's something where someone eats glass. Am I just thinking of David Blaine, maybe? Because David Blaine does that. He'll, like, take a wine glass and just take a big chomp out of it and eat it. But I always thought it looked so satisfying. In a weird way. Like, I know it's, like, magic or whatever, but it makes me want to grab a wine glass and eat it. I'll take the star, please, because it's made of chocolate and golden foil. It's like a chocolate coin, but it's a big star. Exactly. If I didn't mention before, everybody, too, you're more than welcome to overlap these slightly. If you're running out of room but you want to fill up a little more space, you can see overlapping's totally fine. I'm going to move on to the last color, though, because I want to make sure I've got lots of bubblegum pink ones. So I'm just washing off my brush. I'm going to mix red and white together to make a nice light pink. Or, if you will, a bubblegum pink. And this is personally my last color. If you still want to do in-between colors, you can easily do more colors by just adding a little more white to certain ones, like a nice very, very light orange, an even lighter blue, or just an in-between blue. Again, you can do a nice lilac color against the medium purple. Lots of different colors you can do, just different variants of your originals. I've been thinking about this since you mentioned at the beginning of the painting. My brain is zilch, something with puppets. I think it was a crunch of a person. And I may have just nailed it by saying David Blaine, because I know I watched him eat glass recently, as weird as that sounds. But yeah, it's part of his act. But I kind of remember, like, if my nostalgia brain is correct, it was like a hesitant chomp into a glass and then like a... I can't think of what context that would be in, you know, where that would go okay. I might look it up later. I don't even know what to look up, though. Scene where someone eats glass. It could have been a PMK thing where you're like, because I know there was a PMK where they went behind the scenes and they talked about, I'm pretty sure it was PMK, where they talked about different like movie tricks and stuff, and how the glass bottles are made of sugar, so they like smash the bottle like, oh, it's just sugar. But I don't think the host ate it. Oh, that's it! That's it! Panda, Authentically Panda, thank you for speaking up. It's totally Jim Carrey in the Grinch movie. You're so right. You're so right. As Dorney as well. Thank you so much for speaking up. This has been on my brain since I mentioned it, and I felt like I was a freak. I was like, I totally just made this up. I don't know what I'm talking about. You're right, it's the Grinch, and he eats it kind of hesitantly, and he loves it though, and it's delicious. Thank you so much for both of you for speaking up. My gosh, you saved me today. Yep, chat pulls through. Exactly. It's the Grinch. He eats a nice green, I think, green bottle. Yeah? Yeah, it looked so delicious. It's not something to encourage, of course. We don't want to eat glass, but he makes it look yummy, in my opinion. Thank you so much. Steph, how's it going? Hi, Erin. Had a crazy day today. Just one of those days. Oh, an off day. Oh, no. Ugh, but thought I'd drop in since you're online. Say hi. Of course. Hope you're doing well. Haven't done a painting in a while. Everything has been busy and stressed. Love your painting, though. Thank you. Got a few extra days off. Hope I can manage to do one then. Sounds good, Steph. Maybe that would be good for you right now if you feel like there's a lot going on and just like one of those days. Maybe painting would help you. So, yeah, I'm actually doing a tutorial Sunday if you're interested, Steph. I haven't done one of those in a minute, but I am doing one this Sunday. And you know, there's YouTube right there if you want to check out any of the past ones. Maybe, yeah, maybe dedicating a little bit of time to that would be a nice thing for you. Just a suggestion. But I hope it gets better anyway. Thanks for popping in. Sparrow, welcome in. Hello, nice to see you. Your tree looks like a Grinch tree. What if you themed it as the Grinch tree, though? It would kind of be fun and unique, Charlene. That's why my brain went to puppets. You're right! The thin line in between puppets and humans. You're right. Jim Carrey with tons and tons of aesthetics and makeup versus puppets. You're so right. Because it's his little, like, mitten hand. Not mitten, but, you know, it's all fuzzy and furry. He does it so, like, cartoon-like and... Oh, man. Anyway. Great. I hope we're watching The Grinch tomorrow. I want to see him eat glass. Anyway. Off Sunday, maybe. Sounds good. Yeah. No pressure, obviously, Steph, if you want just a chill day to yourself. But just a suggestion. Like, leaving time for that kind of stuff is important. Even if it's not painting with me, just, like, leaving time, you know? dedicate some time to something for you. Forgot you were tutorialing today. Looks awesome. Thanks, Pharaoh. Yeah, no worries, no worries. I do it most Fridays. I will be taking a quick break, not next week, but then the week after, because Christmas is on a Friday. New Year's Day is a Friday. Oh, good question for everybody. Hey, I'm doing a tutorial Sunday, then Friday, and then taking like a good amount of time for Christmas and stuff. Do you think you guys would be around and interested in a tutorial like right before New Year's? I don't mean the 31st. I don't mean the 1st. I mean like the 30th, something like that. That week, like a random Tuesday or Wednesday maybe. Let me know your thoughts. Haha, I want to see me glass. Me too, though. Me too, right? I'm glad you're with me on that because it sounds weird, but yes, I really do. I might even look up the scene later. I just want to see him chomp on it. I've been thinking about it the whole time. The whole time. Yes, says Sushi. Okay, says Krithy. Yes. Phoenix says yes. Okay. So yes. Okay. Do you guys have ideas for, like, maybe, like, a New Year's type theme? Allie had a good one. She was bringing up the idea of, like, a dandelion kind of blowing away in the wind as if we're kind of, like, saying goodbye to this year and we're doing, you know, a fresh dandelion kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, everything's kind of blowing away. Fireworks is a good idea. I did fireworks for Canada Day. And we could do that again for New Year's, something a little different. Tutorial for New Year's, all-nighter of painting. I don't know if I would do it on New Year's, Charlene, but like the day before or something like that. I'll look at my week. I know I have something on the Monday, but like Tuesday, Wednesday, one of those two. It would be a little off for me, but just like abnormal, I mean, but I would love to do it if you guys are interested. Anyway, wow, we're 7 minutes past 10. I have one more step for you guys. It's just adding some white little highlights on our Christmas balls here, on our ornaments. So if you have your clean detail brush, you can just grab white paint. And of course, some of these will be fresh, right? So I would probably start with the colors that you started with. So the red, orange, yellow, they're probably drier. And I just do a small little white kind of curve on a bunch of them. Oops, I went on the right-hand side. In my original, I chose the top left-hand side. I will keep that consistent from now on. Top left, top left, top left. Choose whatever edge or side you want. Do a quick little curve. I just thought this really brightened up these little ornaments. See, like that little batch there. They just look a little more shiny. I'm gonna get rid of this one because it's not consistent. It's as easy as that. Just wipe it away, put some more orange on top, which I'll do in a second. And you know what? Even if the paint is wet, I've kind of been able to figure out a strategy where you can just lay on color right on top. You just kind of like blob it on your brush. Just swipe very quickly and lightly, and it doesn't seem to mix. It'll go on nice and clean. A lot of those were just wet, and that was clean every time. So if you're impatient like me, you can just plop them on now. Just be kind of careful and use lots of paint. If you are patient, you'd rather do these when they're dry. You can always wait for a little bit, just probably again like 5 to 10 more minutes, and then go in and do these little curves on all of them. See, that one got me there, but I'll just wipe off, try it again. Fixed. Just dip into a fresh amount of white, do a couple, not many, dip again. In our PJs, let's do it. Wednesday before New Year's works for me. Okay. I work on the Tuesday. Okay. I'll consider the Wednesday then, definitely. Adding highlights is not the last step. It is to sign your painting, Krithy. You're so right. Thank you. Yes, this is the last design element, but you are right. The last bonus step is signing the painting, so I'll be sure to say that next. Thank you. I'm glad you've learned. It's so important. Socials. Thank you, Groki. Fireworks over the building, or maybe this time without reflection of water. We did the fireworks. Yes, for Canada Day, for sure. That's exactly what I thought of when fireworks was mentioned. I was like, I could do similar, but change it up from that. Yeah. Interesting. I'm, because I did half think of fireworks very quickly when I was thinking about this a few days ago, and I was like, I wonder if people would want to paint that, you know? I always want to do something that's kind of within theme, but mostly something you want to paint and hang up, right? And I didn't know if that would be something. And again, because we had done it for Canada Day, right? But yeah, I'll start thinking. Yeah, like a cityscape could be cool. I don't know. Great. Well, thanks for your feedback, guys. I'll No promises, but I'll heavily consider. You know what? Again, it's oop, this is exhausted. You couldn't just last a couple more minutes, could ya? Could ya? That's okay. Do this here, switch out. Yeah, I'm going to be taking a good break for Christmas, and I have a feeling I'm going to be wanting to come back to do another, you know? I'm going to be missing doing these, so I'm sure that would be nice for me. Because, yeah, Friday's going to be skipped for New Year's. It would be a nice little send-off to do right before the end of the year, right? Right before. And I was toying with the idea of doing it right after, like abnormally on a Saturday or something like that to kind of start off the new year with a nice painting. Of course, we will have a tutorial to start off the year with, but making it on like the 2nd or something like that. Anyway, it'll probably be one or the other. I probably won't be doing both. Cute! I think I got them all. I always double check to make sure I didn't miss any. We don't want to leave any out. Oh, see, I did. I missed that yellow one there. I'm sorry. There you go. Yes. Okay. All right, Krithy's right. The very last step is signing your painting. So if you are all done with me here, you can do a quick little signature in the bottom corner. I'm using a nice purple. EB. There we go. Because it just kind of solidifies the whole painting. It's like, I'm done. Don't touch it. There's always this habit of touching it after, and sometimes signing it is just like the final send-off. You're like, I'm done, I swear. There we go. Thank you very much, Pleb. Snowman family holding up a huge... Oh, that would be cute, Nadine. Because we haven't really done a snowman either, have we? We could do snowman and fireworks. I did 2 shades of pink for the ornaments and silver. Glitter paint for the tree. Glitter would be perfect on this painting. Oh, I can't wait to see. Are you traveling for Christmas just to visit my family a couple hours away? Very, very tight Christmas of parents and brother, and that's it. And dog. And dog. Which one, Groki? Oh, that one. Okay, I got it thinking. So I was like, no! I've signed my painting. What do I do? Some light blue highlights in the snow. Good. Okay, cool. Yeah, interesting how you saw that, because to me that was more of like a rushed, you know, out of order kind of step there that I didn't think would be not even just noticed but like wanted, but cool. I'm glad. You're right, it adds a little more dimension to it now that I'm kind of looking back and forth. There you are. Murray, thanks for the follow and welcome in. Hee hee. Krithy's got gold confetti. You guys are just sparkling it up. I'm always so jealous of all your little extra things because I try and keep it basic on my end and then it's like, oh, but I have glitter. I see, like, blue shadows in the snow. Yeah. That was, I don't know if you're talking about mine maybe here, but Sharon was pointing out in the original, like, here. And that's literally the blue background and my white being transparent. I thought that wouldn't be wanted, and I was like, therefore, don't put blue here. Put it plain white. Anyway, works for everybody. Yeah, and the OG. Yeah. For sure. That's a result of, the sky coming down and then the white being too transparent and you can kind of see like my individual brush strokes, you know? That's what we figured out. So yeah, if people like that better, again, that's just blue first and then white kind of transparent on top. So just putting it on, allowing the brush strokes to show through. So if you like that, that's how to do that. Brush sounds are the best. I was just scraping my hand. My hand is a brush. We'll end off with some painting ASMR. Who is she? You don't know who she is. She just does the ASMR. Oh, okay. Never mind. I went off there, didn't I? Okay. Where did she go? Who is she? Okay. Thanks everybody for coming. Before I lose everybody, just thanks again so much for attending the tutorial. Again, the numbers are nuts lately. Thank you so much. Again, you don't know how much it really helps. Just be here, viewing, watching, even if you're not painting along. Maybe you're just kind of having fun on a Friday and learning for when you will paint this on YouTube. Thank you so much for making the effort to be here live. It really helps me grow. And it helps me continue to do this, you know, as a thing. So it's really neat. So thank you. If you're looking to maybe share your work, I would love to see it. Thank you, Grok. Grok just posted a bunch of little links into the chat there. They're all of my social medias. I'm erinbunpaints on every social media, as far as I know, imaginable. One place you can go that's easy is Facebook to post your photos. I'm going to show you right now after I unlock the event page, because right now it is locked to prevent spam. And I'll show you how to post here, because I always have questions about that. I want to make sure people are posting in the spot they want. Okay. Left desktop full. Here we are. So I'm on the erinbunpaints Facebook page. I went to events. I'm going to click the event that corresponded to tonight. You can see by the banner photo where I'm displaying the painting. I am going to quickly edit this. You don't need to worry about this. It is now updated so that everyone can post in there. Before it was only me allowed to post, but what you want to do is go to discussion, add a post, and then you can add your photo of your painting or anything else you want to post about the tutorial or anything like that. Let's go back to my painting. There we go. If you're looking for another tutorial, I actually have one coming up this Sunday. I used to do Sundays pretty frequently. I haven't as much anymore, but I'm bringing it back with this painting. We'll be doing this one on Sunday, step by step. I'm fixing up this bow because I realized this shading is wrong. Anyway, ignore that. But I'll teach you how to do this step by step on Sunday. It's 2 p.m. EST. Otherwise, I have another one scheduled for Friday. It is actually hanging up behind me, that reindeer one. It is currently displayed on Facebook. If you want to see it, it'll be posted to Instagram soon. If you're looking to support me even further, aside from just watching me, thank you very much. I have a tips command. I'm going to throw that in there. I have lots of different ways you can tip me. I have Interact e-transfer through my email. I've got PayPal. There's a Streamlabs link right there that'll actually show your tip on stream here and like show it in my little notification. So feel free to use any of those. Thank you so much for those who do. But again, thank you so much for just being here. Subscribing is a way to support me as well. I think it's yep, and then Prime. There's more information about subscriptions in that little blurb that just popped up, and then Prime subscriptions. Again, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to me for free. So for no extra money out of your pocket, but it gives me money in my pocket monthly. So that's a huge, huge one. If you have any questions, let me know. It's just a free way to support me very directly. And I think that's all. I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, next tutorial. And if you're just looking to check me out more, I'm on Twitch all the time. I'm usually streaming 4 to 5 times a week on different days. I always post my streaming schedule on Facebook, on Discord, a variety of places that you know when I'm online. But again, an easy way to figure out when I'm online is to just follow me. So if you have a Twitch account that you're viewing me with right now, you can click the little heart button that says follow, and that'll email you anytime I'm online. So if you want to support me just by watching me, giving me a viewer, that's amazing too. And that's completely free. You can just like leave me on in the background. I'll be your background noise as you work from home, things like that. So that's another option. And that's, I think that's all. Yeah. So I'm just gonna search through comments here, make sure we're all good.